Hello and welcome to yet another yapping. We are going to do a rsmalec special, of course. Flying carpets. Yes, flying carpets do not exist. So, that's it. But let's pretend that they do. Let's say that they are existing and they are magical, of course, and you can use them. There are a lot of problems with them, of course, and then there are how to do a lot of stuff. First of all, let's say that you are flying your magic carpet with a word. Lift, fly, My flying carpet would, of course, have a short takeoff and landing. That is, I'm going up and down like a helicopter. So, no need to have an airstrip or landing place or anything. But you need to be at least a bit up in the air, right? Next part. How big will your flying carpet be? Well, I like to have a lot of people aboard. So you need to have a lot of them. I would also love to have a couple of seats, perhaps a sofa or anything. Because sitting on the map itself, it's not really comfortable, is it? No, I would rather have a chair or something like that, an armchair. That would be nice. But that also takes place, a bit space, yeah. So that could also be a problem. And then we have the problem with steering. I mean, let's face it, you have command words for everything. But if you just want to do a bit of steering to the left or a bit of steering to the right, how is that going to be? 2 degrees right? I mean, the mat don't have a compass in it, does it? Or should you have some sort of stick? No, you shouldn't. I mean, it's a flying carpet. God damn it. It should just be lying on the ground or on the floor when it's not used. There are other problems with these ones. Just imagining them being there is enough. But all the stuff that comes to it, I don't really see it. However, there is a bit of a story that is involved in this one, because I pretend on the internet to be a wizard. An old magician. No, he's not really old, by the way, my standards. He's just as old as I am, but he's from a different type of dimension. He's from 7.5 dimensions away. This guy called Fellonius the Wizard, or Fellonian Mellenkampf, is actually having his own flying carpet. He usually uses it when he needs to go from spot A to spot B. He thinks it's a bit cold because he doesn't like to be over the cold mountains in Frisbee or something like that. Yes, this is a role-playing game. This is my Dungeons and Dragons world in 2nd edition, of course. And there's Fellonius the Wizard flying about on his flying carpet. And I have never thought of the problems that he might have. The problems with steering or whatever. He does not have furniture on his carpet. Mostly because he's rolling the carpet up. But he has a big sack, which of course is magical, that can provide him and to carry the flying carpet in his rucksack. You know how magic works in role-playing games. Anything that could be fit in can fit in. We have the same things in some of the Minecraft mods we are using. However, I was using this figure when we got divorced, me and my son's mother. She was sitting on the internet in the and was chatting with different types of blokes. And she got the attention she knew she wanted, that I couldn't give her anymore. She also gave... she was just having fun. When we split up, I thought, well, can she do that? I can do it as well. So I went out there and should start chatting with ladies. It took me about 5 seconds to realize I'm not that like those guys out there. So I started to use my submarine style. Submarine styling in chats are when you are there, you're reading what's all going on, you're having your periscope up, but you're not saying, you're not commenting, you're not doing anything else. You can do that on, let's say, the live stream or anything as well. It's the same thing. You are there, but you're not trying to comment or taking contact with anyone. And during the time while I sat there, I was actually starting to figure out how to get out of this problem. By that time, I have already started calling myself for Fellonius. So I was using that as my nick, and when I suddenly popped out, I was talking to myself. I was talking to myself about having my periscope up for just checking around. I told myself that I was pouring up coffee all the time. And suddenly there was someone, I don't remember who asked, "How much coffee do you have in that hat of yours?" Because I always kept my coffee in my hat. And that, of course, started to, we were debating that. Well, it's about 4 gallons, and you know how it is. It was all fantasy. Just some weeks later, I was still doing out there, and I suddenly realized that this is actually a good story. It's all a good story. So I was on that chat being Fellonius sometimes and being myself sometimes. Fellonius had a big problem. He was 7.5 dimensions away, and the only way he could get back again was if he used his magic flying carpet. But when he was coming down through the dimensions down to this dimension, he lost his steering threads. There were 2 silver steering threads in his flying carpet, and they were gone. So he was on the chat debating, discussing with witches and other magicians and all types of guys who could help him get his 2 silver threads back again. And that was a really fun story. So all it was about was Fellonius trying to get back home with his help of his flying carpet, while I, the real guy behind it, was actually feeling very down in the dumps because I had been thrown out from my family and I couldn't be with my son as much as I wanted and all that stuff. So it was a double version of me. And I think that helped me through the divorce pretty well, because 3 months later from when we split, I suddenly realized that perhaps this was for the best. And by that time, I didn't need Fellonius as much. So me and a lady out there called Madame Mim was actually trying to get that carpet flying, and suddenly Fellonius the wizard could go back to his rightly dimension. Yeah, so he's not here. The real Fellonius the wizard is not here. This is not the guy. I'm just trying to use his name. And it's all because of a flying carpet in a magical world of Dungeons and Dragons. Thanks for listening. Bye.